This is episode 103 in our AMMO Training Academy, Essential Detailing Tools. Now these aren't tools that are just fun or cool toys. These are things that are absolutely essential to detailing. For that, we gotta go downstairs. One of my favorite rules of thumb is the 80-20 rule, known as Pareto's Law, which explains 80% of the results come from 20% of the actions, or 80% of your sales come from 20% of your clients. But for us detailers, I say 80% of the cleaning comes from 20% of the tools. So, which are the 20% that are critical to a proper detail? Okay, with the 20% rule in mind, here are the items that I recommend. Now, I split them up into three different categories. I have one-time purchases over here, I have consumable products, and then of course, car-specific cleaning products over here. So let's start on this side. Now we have a vacuum. Now you're gonna buy a vacuum once every 4 or 5 years if you maintain it properly. One of the big things I sort of stress in training is I really like a crevice tool. It gets in between the seats and it actually focuses all the suction in a tight little area. They make other ones that are big, flat ones for carpet. I don't personally prefer them, so make sure you get one of those. If you have a wet vac, that's great as well. Okay, now we have 3 buckets and we have stickers on them to designate which one's which. We have a wash and a rinse. So the wash, you're gonna put the soap in, the rinse is only gonna be water, and the wheels, of course, are the wheels. Now, this is a bigger concept, meaning we talked about it before, no cross-contamination. You're sort of forcing yourself not to contaminate everything by having multiple buckets. I also prefer the gamma seal, which is this black and red seal right here. You can screw it on and actually have watertight. So if you live in an apartment or something like that and you want to take water with you to a self-wash, you can tighten this up and tip it over and it's not going to spill. So it's very, very handy. Now, one of the most important things is the grit guard. Hopefully most of you are familiar with it. This is a guard that goes on the bottom of the wash bucket and it keeps your wash mitt and everything off the bottom. Okay, you can see how much dirt, I left one dirty for you, and the dirt goes between these little holes here and stays trapped because of these little fins. So it's very, very important not to introduce or cross-contaminate a lot of dirt there. Some other things you're gonna need is a lug nut brush. And then we have the wheel woolly, the extra long wheel woolly. They make a bunch of different sizes, but this is essential. Remember, we're talking about the bare minimum. There's gotta be a million other tools that you can buy that are lots of fun, but we're talking about basic. So I know a lot of you are gonna say, how come you didn't say this? How come you didn't say that? We're talking about basic. So another sort of one-time purchase, I go through these every couple of years, is a scrub pad you can use on the interior. We're gonna talk all about this in the next episode. We have an interior brush, right? We have a hose nozzle. Again, there's 50 different versions. I prefer the one that has rubber on the end and you can squeeze it like this. There's other ones where you can have the fire hose. I really don't prefer those because you have to use 2 hands to shut it off or turn it on. You have to hold it and then twist it. A lot of times I'll turn this on and be doing something at the same time, so it's lubricating. So keep that in mind. I'm not a big fan of the fire hose ones. Then of course you're gonna need a hose of various length, whatever's appropriate for you. So yeah, this is kind of the one-time purchase. Now, let's move over here. These are the consumable, meaning you're gonna have them for a while, but you may need to throw them away, specifically towels. Now, towels only last a certain amount of time, but if you care for them, they'll last a decent amount of time. But if I were to take this right now and wipe the wheel over there, it's gonna be shot. I can't use that on the paint anymore. So that's what I mean by consumable. It's a good thing to throw them away because you're only gonna do damage on the paint. Then we have glass towels over here. You should have 6 to 12 of those, 6 to 12, if not more, of microfiber towels, and then some throwaway, I call them terry towels, we're gonna use in really junky areas like the engine and things like that. I highly recommend a clay bar. We're gonna talk at length. There's a lot of controversy on this, but you should have it, but we're gonna talk about it. You need some protection items like glasses, but specifically anything that touches your skin, you wanna be able to wear some gloves. And we have 3 different mitts. So I have a mitt here for the paint. You can see it's in a plastic bag. I like to keep it really clean. I have a mitt here for the wheels, and then I have a second mitt that I use for the paint, but the lower portions of it. Again, we're gonna talk about that, but right now I just wanna get you the concept of the bare minimum. There's a million more tools that we can use, but we want the bare minimum. Then over here, of course, we have the car cleaning supplies, everything from the paint and the wheels, and then the protection zone over here, and of course glass. We're gonna go into each one of these in depth, but overall, I wanted to give you an idea. It's not that much stuff. That is the bare basics. And each one of these has probably 50 other tools that you can use that it's a different version of them. So this is when it starts to become a little bit complicated. Visit AMMONYC.com. Click on the training button, then on the left-hand side of the page, click the tool button for links to my recommended detailing tools. For all AMMO formulas and supplies, click the shop button in the menu bar. This is just one video within the AMMO Training Academy. To go through the entire course and to learn how to detail your car properly, visit AMMONYC.com and click on the training link.